So, killing floor skateboards. Are they any good? So far, I'm loving this deck. And more than anything, I love the graphic on this deck. I wish I had have showed you guys before I scratched it up. So it's the Peanuts. Lucy, psychiatric help. The doctor is in. Why I love this so much is we all know the feeling when you have a really cathartic, problem-solving skate. You get out on your board and all those problems and tensions you had before you went out just kind of dissolve, you know? So, I mean, like, this is my therapist. It's not always that good for my body, but it sure heals the mind. Anyways, let's take a look at this thing and measure it up and check some of the specs. It is 32 1/8 long, so it's a pretty long board. The wheelbase is 14 3/4, which is a big wheelbase. And it feels great on me. I love the wheelbase on this thing. I'm a big guy, and while I can't flip this thing around very well, I can't do flip tricks right now anyways because of my knee and ankle injury. So having this big, comfy board with a nice wide stance, I mean, honestly, it just feels great. Like, I'm loving riding this. So let's check the width. It is 8 3/8, which again is pretty big. And on this board, I'm riding Indy 149s, the regular ones. So stepping it up again to a big boy truck. I've got Bones STFs 52s on here, although they are probably 50s by now, with Swiss Bones bearings. So anyways, I'm gonna play around on this thing. I can finally do heel flips again. I can't flick enough to do a kick flip, but I can heel flip. I can do a few switch flip tricks. And I'm just gonna play around on this thing here at Thompson Park. There's that big giant floppy board with a bad popping ankle. That's the extent of my flip trick ability for the time being. Maybe a couple more weeks, I'll have a couple more tricks back. Gotta love a crooked grind. I think that was a Siski grind. Did I even say the brand? Friendship Skateboards. I believe these are part of that large generator bareback umbrella. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I have a pretty good feeling from riding this board for about a week that it's gonna keep its pop nicely for at least another month. Now, one of the things I like the most about this deck is that the space, you guys know I'm always talking about this space, the space between the bolts and where the nose and tail start to go up is very short, which contributes to that extra wide wheelbase. Now, Indies, because of where the wheels are situated on the truck, actually have a smaller wheelbase. So if I took Thunders on this, my wheelbase would go out a centimeter. It's literally like almost a centimeter wider if I put Thunders on. This deck seems to me to be engineered for Indies. I'm loving the way it's feeling. I've said this in a few videos lately. I can't wait to get on a board that feels great with Indies. This is it. So that's probably why I'm enjoying it so much. I bought this board back in April, so that was 9 months ago. You're probably not gonna find this board. I rode it for a couple days. It was fun, but I got tired of floppy flip tricks. Now, with my delightful limitation, I'm able to really enjoy this board. It's got an incredible, nice, snappy pop on Indies. It doesn't feel too heavy or too light, and it just feels like a great board for me to work my way back in. So one of the really nice things about having my truck this far back is safe for manual tricks. It's got a nice balance point if I have my foot farther up on the nose for manuals. If I keep it in that pocket like I sometimes like to by habit, I can't find the point, but once I get my foot more up on the nose, it's got a nice broad range. And for regular manuals, because it's so snappy, I can really get a nice ollie out of my manuals if I need to do a trick out of it. The concave of this board, it has a nice dish in here, not too much, not too little, and it starts to kind of flatten out getting towards the tail, and the nose and tail actually have kind of a flattish feel. But overall, I'm finding this board quite a delight to ride. I'm very pleased whenever I find a combination that's working out really well. I wish I not only had one of these to put on my wall, I also wish I had a couple more to set up. So for those of you that like a larger board, I think checking out some of the larger models of Friendship, you may be happy with them. If you love riding indies, you might find it a good combination. Again, take into account this little feel if you like a steep feeling nose and tail. This little gap there. I wouldn't hesitate to try a smaller Friendship board in the future when I'm back to doing flip tricks. They have great graphics, a lot of really satirical or ironic wit going into them. So without digging too deep into the company or anything about it, I don't have anything bad to say about this deck. As you can tell, I'm kind of gushing about it. I hope you have good experiences on Friendship boards. If you have anything other, please leave it in the comments. Always let me know. I am only one person with one opinion, and we get a broader sense when you guys contribute. So thanks for watching. I'm happy to be back on my board. Knock on wood that it lasts. Oh, and one last thing, breaking news. I can kind of kickflip again.